Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Fan Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. So come get some. CromCon.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 7th and 8th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish. They're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Gelber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday this December 31st, 2023. I've been away for a couple of weeks, so I've almost forgotten how to do it. I am your host. I am Roland Mann. Welcome, everyone, to the final Silverline stream of 2023. I have some usual suspects with me this week, including the all-around con artist, Mr. Thomas Flormonte Jr. Say hi, Tommy.
Howdy do.
And, of course, that man in the mask guy, Mr. Mike W. Belcher.
Howdy, everyone.
And the top get New Year's even. And the top troublemaker, Mr. Tom Mason.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year.
And, Tom, before we move on, I want to thank you so very much for guest hosting for me while I was out with my family in Arkansas on Christmas vacation. You did a fantastic job.
Well, happy to pitch in. If you ever need me to ruin your show again, just let me know.
I will call on you. You can count on it.
Yeah, I watched a couple. Nice.
I got to listen to those. I got to listen to a bunch of them on my 15-hour drive up to Arkansas and 15 hours up and 15 hours back. So
man, they have airplanes now.
They do.
Yeah, they do. But those things go really high.
And then they fall.
And then they fall. That's right.
Yeah. Only once.
It's a controlled fall. It's not like they just fall. Yeah.
That's right. And we are joined by Mr. Rob Davis.
Howdy, man.
Who is usually on the Wednesday show. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Man, Rob, it must be like really winter where you're at. Look how cold it is back there.
That is my front yard, but it's a photo. It's completely clear right now. I can't stay long. I'm up in the studio upstairs. My family's downstairs. We're kind of celebrating. My granddaughter and my son and his wife are here. So I came up to say Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you.
Talk for couple few minutes, and then I'm going to run back downstairs. But I told you I might come in, so I figured I better come in for at least for a few minutes.
When do you have to shovel all that?
We don't. We just hunker down.
Hey,
leave it there until
It
summer.
eventually melts.
as a reminder that I'm in Florida, I'm wearing short pants.
Yeah, me too. No, but it was cold this morning. It was 50s or this morning. I went bike riding this morning.
50s.
Our temps here were half that.
I'm in Southern California right now, and it's 65 degrees.
It's always 65 degrees in California.
It's beautiful weather. Well, I don't really have an agenda for tonight. I figured this is literally just a New Year's Eve chill. But I thought I would pose a couple of questions. You can answer them if you want to, but particularly for you two who need to go spend time with your family. I was wondering if you had any highlights of 2023 and maybe some things you anticipate for 2024. So you think about those while I give the last bit of news here. Let me see if I can share my screen. I've forgotten how to do this. But it's kind of like
Tom knows how to do it. He can show you how to do it.
All right. So as a reminder, I don't know exactly how much time we have left, but you guys need to pop on over, tell your local comic shops to pop on over and order a copy of Trump's #1, slated to be, as you can see, in comic shops February 14th, 2024. Which means I should be getting those numbers in really soon. This is the first time we've been in the catalog in 20 years, so I'm not sure exactly how it works now, but I'm anticipating a purchase order from them, at which point in time I think they'll tell us how many I need to print and ship to them. So
there's a highlight for 2023.
Yeah,
right
catalog.
Yep. It is.
You can also call your diamond rep, can't you, and get like an early heads up?
I can, but I guess of course I've been away for a bit, and I don't think they're there. And Monday is a holiday, so I figure I'll drop him an email and reach out to him.
I think most comic shops have already probably gotten in all their orders for the month. So
I think so.
I think there's a final cutoff. Isn't there like a point that you can do it like 3 weeks before you go to press?
Well, yeah, there's some
so.
point at which shops can reorder. I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
the final cutoff.
Because there used to be a system where after everybody turned in their orders, you could cut a side deal with Diamond to just say, "Look, can you send out an announcement that we're going to extend it for my one book for another week so people can get?"
Yeah.
It's sort of like a publicity.
And then they see that announcement, then that's kind of a bit of news to bring their attention to it, huh?
Right. Yeah.
I may
ask your guy about that too.
Yeah, I will absolutely ask him about that. Yeah, it's funny. I think I told you guys, it's the exact same rep I had, in 1999.
What else is the same from 1999? I mean,
right.
My hairline was around. That's amazing.
Yeah, that might.
Yeah.
Well, the page you showed us a minute ago, was that a live page?
That is the that's live. Let me read.
Well, it's still got an order button at the bottom.
It does. It that is
see what it does.
That is the
order a copy, Roland.
Yeah, order.
That is the online catalog. I don't.
What happens if you click it?
Oh, I don't know.
I think you should try. You got to log in.
Yeah, you got to log in.
All right.
But it's a previews pool box. That's pretty interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how. Why does he keep going back to that screen? I want you to go to there.
What's the pitch of Trump's, Roland? Tell us about it.
So Trump's is a science fiction superhero story set on a fantasy world called the Deck, in which there can only be one kingdom that holds the seat of power, and that kingdom is called Trump's. And as we enter in this story, there are 4 kingdoms, oddly enough: hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. And clubs are fighting for the seat of power. They're fighting to be Trump's. So
nice.
Yeah, so that
it sounds like Game of Thrones.
Well, I have been told it is Game of Thrones without all the sex.
Right.
So,
you should pitch this Game of Thrones with more sex.
Game of Thrones with more sex?
Yeah, really get the orders up.
You just go pop in? I thought you were going to log in. They can't. You're not going to be able to hear them.
Hey, it's Mrs. Rowland.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Just popping in for a minute.
What's
Y'all
for
have
dinner?
fun, guys.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? We had redneck egg rolls.
Okay.
What is a redneck
All right.
egg roll?
I gotta ask, what are redneck egg rolls?
That's something you made
I'm
up.
going to tell you more about it.
Why can't you just go to a Chinese place and get some real egg rolls?
Get some what?
Real egg rolls.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. I love those as well. But, the one with barbecue and pepper jack cheese is really good.
There
Pops
you
and time
go.
is rolling.
That ain't an egg roll.
Pops.
That's a weird burrito is what it sounds like.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night.
I thought when she said earlier I talked her into coming on, I thought she was going to log in and come in like the rest of you.
No, she knows how to make a cameo.
You may have to send her the link so that way she knows what it is.
Yeah, well, no, I did send her the link, but
I know she knows what
yeah.
it is.
We got a couple comments here. Pop says, "Hey, yo, what's up, Pops?
Oh.
Happy New Year to you, Pops." Pops also I know Tom mentioned it, but Pops did the behind the scenes, all the buttons and knobs and bells and whistles for Tom.
He did everything for me that I don't know how to do, and that was a great help. That was really good.
And Pops, I know you're listening. I actually went over to your Roku channel and stuff, and I can't wait till you get all that stuff on there. That'll be cool.
I know. Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, very exciting. Still trying to figure out how to make that happen. Pops has some ideas that he's going to try. And he says, anytime, guys. Thanks, you Pops. Joe, you beat me to it. Any idea as to when the Kickstarter fulfillment might begin? If no problem. Just curious. I do have an idea, Joe. The Kickstarter fulfillment should begin next week. I have word from my printer. Oh, I don't have a book handy. I have word from my printer that
So I heard that somebody could have came by on Friday to pick them up, but they slept all day.
Ow.
Driven for 15 hours.
Yeah,
that's the world of big time comics, kids.
that's right. Oh
No. We weren't done finished printing. It's not Roland's fault. We had one item that we needed corrections on.
The things are coming.
No
the
problem,
comments
Mr.
are coming in. Thomas, thank you. That is awesome. Ray 2482 says hello. Hey Ray, glad to see you here.
Hello,
Thanks
Ray.
for stopping by.
Ray 242.
And then Joe says thumbs up. Thanks for asking, Joe. I appreciate it. Yeah. We had a minor little hiccup that I wasn't able to address because I was in Arkansas and I did not take any computers, laptops. So this is
Wow,
not,
did you just see that? Dave just Rob just disappeared. That was somewhere. Oh, look, he's a ghost. That is so crazy.
Is he Christmas present or Christmas past or Christmas future?
Right.
That's cool.
So there, Joe. So thank you for being patient. I appreciate that and appreciate your question. But yeah, I see no reason those shouldn't go off as if you heard at the beginning. I don't start actual classes back in. Oh no, I don't think that was live, was it?
No.
I start classes back not this week, this coming week, but the next week. So I will be here in the house. So I should be able to get those fixed up and out to you pretty quickly.
Yeah, your delivery guy is not in town.
No, my delivery guy is not in town. He is still in Ohio, and I know he's not watching, but he was pretty excited. He was in the home of a big Ohio State fan, and if any of you followed any of the college football, Ohio State lost, and
What are they playing?
Yeah. But he wore a Missouri shirt. he special ordered the Missouri shirt just to wear it that day in his in that house.
They're playing softball at this time of year?
Not yet. Oh no, actually they are playing softball. Yeah, I forgot about that. But that's not what he was watching. Did you watch the game, Rob?
No, I did not. I didn't even know they won till this morning.
Oh, it was a good game.
And I live in town. You know, I live near Columbia. So where MU is from Mizzou.
Yep.
So, and I used to drive on the campus. I drove a shuttle bus on campus for 3 years. So, yeah,
wow.
right around the stadium.
Yeah. So I don't remember where they played. Ohio State. Let's see, that was a Cotton Bowl. So they were in Texas somewhere.
Yeah, I forget which stadium it was in.
It was the Cotton Bowl, but I think it might have been Dallas.
The final score was 14-3.
Yeah, something like that.
And they scored all 14 points in the fourth quarter.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. You could call it a boring game for the first 3 quarters because it was very defensive. I think the first half, each team ended with about 50 yards total offense. So yeah, there wasn't much. But let's see who's popping in here. I don't see his face yet, so he's still.
Yeah, I was curious, so I actually looked it up this morning because usually it's all over everything. You know, it's when they do the weather they talk about you winning. So, but I checked into it and I went, wow, I thought they lost.
Yeah, no, they did fantastic. And we've got another guest popping in with us, Mr. Pops Van Zandt. Say hi, Pops.
What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Thanks for tuning in to Silverline, Silver Sunday. You put me under the banner. I got to do it.
Yeah. That's right. You got to do it. That's right. You know, I often forget I can move people around.
Making me seasick.
To you, to all your followers, to you people following on all of your channels as well as all of ours. We love all you guys, man. Keep doing what you do.
Thanks, Pops. We love you too, man.
Hey, I will talk to you guys later. I got another show to do.
All right.
Happy New Year. Peace, everybody.
Bye, Pops. Happy New Year.
So, for those of you who may not know, Pops is often very much behind the scenes, but he's a guy who organizes this whole the whole Madness Network. He's a guy who has spearheaded this thing. He had the idea. Let me get a bunch of independent comic streams, shows, whatever you want to call it. And he said, let's get them all together and put them on a network. And that kind of picked up steam. And over time, he just got more and more and more. Reached out to me sometime back, and I guess see, how long have we been on the network now? About a year and a half, I think.
Has it been that long?
Maybe a year.
I'm thinking about a year.
I'm thinking about
this time last year. It may be a year and a half.
I can't. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah. So
3 shows out of it.
What's that?
You got 3 shows on the air.
Yep. Got 3 shows on the network. So and one of the cool things that you guys, for longtime listeners, remember us talking about is that one of the things Pops is working on is getting a ROKU channel for the Madness Network, and as one of the mainstays, we would be on the ROKU channel as well. So we're very excited about that, and doing everything we can to help Pops make that happen. He says the advantages of having the keys to the network. He just pops right in. Oh, so Pop says 16 months or so. So
there you go.
Okay, not quite a year and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
But this will be our second New Year's.
Yes, our second New Year's, and I know it's. I was counting because we do the we do the replays, the reruns at 1 a.m. most every night. Occasionally they slip by and I don't get one uploaded, but I just noticed that I had uploaded. Oh shoot! What episode did I upload? I just uploaded like 200. We haven't quite done 365 of them yet. Streams. Oh no! I need to go to.
Are you having a stroke?
No, I'm trying to find my folder. I just uploaded episode number 287. So
there we go.
Yeah. So we have had 287 almost consecutive nights of reruns at 1 a.m. So in fact, I've already uploaded the one for tonight. So which will be I'm guessing might be the first stream of the new year on the network. Certainly in the Eastern time zone.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, we got us another guest popping in here. We bring to the stage Mr. David Rios.
Yay!
Hey. How's it going?
Our hero last week on Wednesday Wham came in and gave us a third because it was just Barb and me, and then David came popping in and really helped us out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's Dave. Dave is a superhero. Pops just said, I might have missed 4 all year, so I did pretty good. Thanks, Pops. So Dave, before I don't want to cut you off joining in here, but I want to get give Rob and Mike the opportunity before they have to join family.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run downstairs.
You guys think of anything you want to talk about for 23 or 24?
A new project. I hope it'll. Well, I'm gonna have to turn off the background, but
we won't look.
Yeah. Well, it'll disappear if I don't do it right. So let me change the.
We'll pretend we don't see what's behind you.
I'll get rid of the background. Yeah, you'll ignore all that. That's my message.
We are. We're ignoring the Batmobile behind you.
Nice.
Hold on. Let me try to do that again. All right. Oh, I like the way
I want to cover up the character so they don't know exactly who it is yet, because it's still it's still a project that we're not naming yet. So the name of this character might give it away, even though I'm not quite covering up the last 2 letters.
I see that. And there's some years over there.
Yeah, but so that's okay. But I mean, the costume would give it away too. I mean, if you look at that, that's from a certain era.
That's okay.
But yeah, that's one of my first sketches for this new project that I'm.
I like that.
With I've got about 8 or 9 pages thumbnailed. So far.
Cool. So I hadn't heard back from you since sending you the script. So
yeah, and I got started on them over the weekend. I had, I do all the design work and some illustration work for the company I do with Ron Fortier called Airship 27. But during the holidays, I shut all that down, and I decided this week I'm going to get some of the comic book things that I'm working on, get those lined out. So I did a couple more pages of Boston Bombers done, and I've started thumbnailing our secret project. and I've gotten to the scene where the I guess antagonist of the story appears. So I'm going to have to do a character sketch of him now. I usually do that as I go through the book, because the movie runs through my head as I read the script. So the image will come to me. I go, oh, I want him to look like this. And the writer kind of loosely described him as well, which gave me some clues on where to go. So I'll probably be doing a character sketch of him shortly. But yeah, it's in process now, Roland.
Excellent. So that is exciting to hear. So you're pretty close to finishing
this issue of Boston Bombers. Yeah, it's issue 2 of what's probably going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 issues, depending on how Ron stretches it all out. But yeah, I'm about 2/3 of the way through issue 2, and then I'm going to start bouncing back and forth between the next issue of Boston Bombers and this secret project. So I'm going to try and get it.
First one was great. I loved your art. I love what you did with it.
Thank you. Yeah, because Ron fixes those. As soon as I see him, he posts it. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Tom.
I'm sorry. I
stepped on you.
The Bombers has been around for a while too, right?
Yeah.
Since the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes. It was originally done for Caliber. And then sometime in the 2010s, Ron and I we were doing Airship 27, and he thought it'd be a good idea. All those issues of Boston Bombers, I think there were, I don't remember how many there were now, maybe 12. And he wanted to get them all together in a graphic novel. And since he had the rights to it, he got me all the artwork. I put it all together and made a graphic novel out of it. And it's up at Indie Planet. You can also, or wait a minute, I don't know if it's up. Yes, it is up at Indie Planet. And it's also on Amazon. And you can buy it from me and Ron at conventions. But it's the first story. And I liked the story so much, I kept bugging Ron to do it again. To finish the story, because if you read the graphic novel, you see there's a lot more that can be told with this story. So I said, well, we need to get this going, Ron. We'll self-publish it if nothing else. And so finally he'd get an artist and they'd fall out. And then he'd get another artist and they would fall out. And I finally said, I'll do it. Just let me draw it and we'll publish it because I want to see it get out there. And he kind of went, my plan came together. So yeah, I think he had an idea that he wanted me to do it all along. But yeah, I love the story. Yeah, that's issue 1 of volume 2. That's the first collaboration with Ron and me on the Boston Bombers.
So that's the thing. That's the thing that I love about your work is you're really good at drawing the vehicles, which not a lot of artists can do anymore. Like that's a real looking transport vehicle. That's a real looking motorcycle, and that's
reference, folks. Reference.
Yeah,
you look, and it's so easy. I used to have to clip pictures from magazines and go to the library and get get books with pictures in it, or order a book, or go get a book at the bookstore. Now you can go on Google, type in what you want. Up pops all these images, and you just pick one that works for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the internet.
I do too. And what's funny because is that and I know Tom remembers this. Back in the day, if the writer had reference specific things that they wanted to do, they had photocopies. So they would have to have photocopies, attach it to the back of the script. And usually in the script, there was a note that says, see appendix, image A in the back or whatever, however the writer opted to do it.
And at one point, I remember when I was working with Tom at Malibu, is I went out and got a fax machine so that they could get the scripts to me really quickly. And sometimes they would also put in the photocopies of any reference as well. I had it was one of those heat where you put the heat sensitive paper through it. So it wasn't like the fax machines and stuff that we have now where it prints right in your printer, but it was a heat sensitive paper that went through. So if you put your coffee down on it, everything would disappear.
Well, and one of the things I do now too, when somebody sends me a script, for Silverline, and it's like, okay, if they say I want it to look like this, I'm like, where's my link? If you want it to look like that, give me a link. I had, of course, some of this I also teach in my class, and sometimes the students will say, if you don't know what it looks like, just Google it. I'm like, no. That's your job.
Link.
That's your job.
Yeah.
Put a link. Well, the artist can easily click the link, but do not tell them Google it, because as soon as you tell them to Google it, if you're saying I want a 1939 German Mauser, you're gonna get Rocketeer's space gun because you told the artist to Google it when you could have sent them a link.
Well, and if you've ever noticed when you Google stuff, it doesn't just pick what you typed in.
Right.
The algorithm also looks for stuff similar and puts it in there, and it doesn't always tell you that this isn't the item. This is something that's like the item.
It also gives me a link to buy it.
Now watch what happens, right? So I guarantee you tomorrow we're all going to be on Amazon or Google, and a German Mauser is going to come up for all of us.
Only on yours, because you said it out
I already
loud.
did that, and I printed those out, so I just have to go in I go in a digital file. I have a digital file. I just go through that and find.
But also the cool thing about reference material is that once you have it and you store it in a PDF, you can send it to the artist.
Yep.
It's
like this.
It's different in independent comics, but in corporate comics, if you need Spider-Man reference, they got a whole file they can send you a PDF of the last 6 or 7 years of anything you need from Spider-Man, and it just it's so easy.
Yeah, and it's something that I've kind of learned just over the last couple of years is that what I would do initially was just put the links in the script, and then if I'd say, hey, I want this guy to look like, or this character to look like this character, blah blah blah. Here's some links. Well, and you guys, most of you saw it on the team Silverline thing. I put a PDF. Hey, here's my sheet for these characters, right? So I did one for Cat and Mouse, and so I've got Cat, I've got the actor, I've got a few biographical details about him, not much, but then I did one for Cat, one for Mouse, one for Champion, and a handful of those characters as well. So every time I send that reference, the artists. So here's one of the problems I think anyway, of independent comics, or maybe even of Marvel, DC wouldn't have this. So when somebody draws like the first thing, right? Here's the first thing of this,
first
right?
Iteration, yeah.
Right. If you don't have any kind of reference that was based on, then you send that out to the next artist, right? So the next artist is basing their version of that one, and the next artist is basing their version on that one and that one, right? So it begins to sort of morph a little bit over time until 3 or 4 artists down. Yeah, 3 or 4 artists down the road, you're going, that's not quite what I wanted, It's like not quite there. And so I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put together a reference package that I will send to each artist that they will get the exact same reference.
Like some of the reference I have for Boston Bombers, pictures of airplanes, and Ron has picked out certain actors that he wants the characters to look like.
I've started doing that.
I have photos of those, and there was a boat in one section, a shrimp boat.
Yeah, because they do that in movies all the time. They have I mean, they have a whole background team, but they go in there and they look up reference for, especially like on stuff for like Indiana Jones movies. There's a whole package of 1930s, 1940s material that goes out for the production design team.
Yeah, that's from my reference file for Boston Bombers. Well, I've been on here about a half hour. My family's downstairs watching movies on Netflix, so I'm going to go back down and join them.
Well, Happy New Year to you, Rob.
Happy New Year to you, Rob. Always good to see you.
Happy New Year. It's always good to see all you guys. Let's make 2024 even better.
Let's do it.
2023.
I'm in. I'm all in.
Yep. Yeah. I'm writing it down. That's the plan.
Yep. Let's do it. All right. See you all later.
Happy New Year, Rob. Happy New Year.
What about you, Mike? Did you think of anything before you got a bail? Any highlights of 2023? Anything you're anticipating about 24?
Well, 23 was pretty good. There were some ups and downs that you two in particular know about. But as far as I had an increase in commissions. I was doing a whole lot of art this year.
That's great.
And really didn't. I usually at least try to get an issue of Man in the Mask out, but I kind of took a step back and worked on some foundation things. So I'm hoping that 24. I've got a few things that I've been cooking up. The newsletter.
I was going to say your newsletter kicked into gear in 23, didn't it?
It definitely. That was something I'm pretty proud of, that I developed something that was a little in story. Give a little bit more of a kind of a texture to the world of Man in the Mask. And so I'm hoping that at 24, I've got a big thing planned. I'm going to start in February, and that the comic is still going to be free as far as being seen, but I'm going to try to monetize it a little bit, just a little bit, kind of like Patreon. Just throw me a tip or two on behind the scenes stuff, and just a little stuff that I used to love seeing in the back of trades, and just kind of additional material, but just have some fun with it. Just have some and hopefully I can get a couple more issues out this year.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I know you've been jamming on the newsletter, because I get it and read it regular. So I know that was my first thought of like, well, I wonder what Mike's going to say about 23. I bet he mentions the newsletter.
Yep. Well, that was the thing. It was art and newsletter. Like I said, nothing. I kind of remastered a couple of my earlier books just to kind of update them to the way I draw now, because they were, you're never happy with things, and you got to make the decision whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah.
But I think it was an addition. I think it worked.
You're giving me ideas for future streams, Mike. Remastering comics. That's a good one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you do see a lot of Kickstarters that, within 6 months, they've already remastered the last one they did.
Yeah.
Double dip. And it's like, well, I just bought this book. Now you're already remastering. It's like, wait 3 or 4 years at least.
Yeah. You're giving me the same comic, just slightly with different art and maybe different dialogue here and there. It's like, it's hard for me to, I like to support the Kickstarter comics, but it's hard for me to do that. And it's like, why did you give me something new? Don't just remaster. That's my initial thoughts anyway.
But yeah, that's pretty much 23. 23,
Sweet.
like I said, 24, hopefully, and more lettering for Silverline.
Yep. I know there are, you should have one in your hands now, right?
I do.
Yep.
And Ron has certainly asked me when I'm going to get it done.
Yeah. He's not shy about asking, is he?
No. I love him to death, and I'm so happy that he does push me. But yeah, we talked just the other day, and it was like, oh, by the way, you get around to doing that yet? It's like, oh, it's the holidays, Ron. Give me just a little second.
Let me have some Christmas cheer first.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's great. And that's like I tell him on his particular scripts, I wait to letter it to read it.
Yeah.
And so he's always with bated breath to see what my opinion of it is. And that's like,
oh, that's very cool.
So
yeah, I know, and Mr. Mason might echo this. I know for me, one of the things I'm always anxious about is when I send a script to the penciler. It's like, okay, is he going to say anything? Was he going to like it? Is he going to hate it? I remember I sent Silverline 2 to Pete, and Team Up 2 to Pete, and a week went by and I hadn't heard from him. So I'm like, man, does he not like it? Is it what's going on? So I reached out to him and I said, hey Pete, just want to know if you had a chance to read issue number 2 yet. He goes, oh yeah, I read it, liked it. It got dark. That's all he said.
That's because it's funny because we work sort of in a vacuum sometimes, and we don't have an audience yet. It's just the people working on the book, and so you don't know really. You might have confidence in it, but you don't really know until the next person down the line just says anything.
Anything at all.
Anything. You're always
give me a crumb.
Yeah, give me a crumb.
Yeah, and of course, Tommy still hadn't read the issue that's out, so.
No.
Silverline Team Up. Yeah, I remember what happened because I inked it.
I inked it. I printed it. I don't know what you want more. Well, that's okay.
So that's sort of the thing that I have too. Is if I've read it during pre-production, I don't want to read it when it's printed anymore. I'm done with it. I want to read the next thing because I used to read what you too, Roland. We used to read comics from the original art when the stuff would come in.
Yeah,
I was like, I would never read the finished comic because for me, I saw it in its purest form.
Right. Yeah.
I saw the line art and I saw the big pages and they're like treasury editions when the original art comes in and you would
and you also saw the script.
Yes.
And the revision of the script.
There's only so many times. There's only so much energy I can expend reading the same story.
That's right. Yeah. When it's out, you just flip through it, make sure all the pages are in order and everything looks good.
Here's the thing: when it's out and I read it, all I do is go, "Oh man, I dropped that ball. There's a misspelled word. That page number's out of order.
That's the worst.
It's just I can't read it. I can't look at the finished comic.
Owen Rees said, "Happy New Year, Silverline family. Happy New Year, Owen. So good to see you here, sir. Thank you for swinging by and spending some of your New Year's Eve with us." So that's interesting. We are going to one of the things that we're going to do. We're going to spend a couple of talking about some of what we're going to do in 24 is we're going to talk about editing for a couple of it. I don't know. I've got 3 down here now. We may 2, 3, 4. We'll spend not necessarily consecutive weeks, but we're going to talk a couple of weeks about editing comics and that kind of thing. What do editors do? I know Tom is here, so he can talk about a lot of stuff that Malibu used to do. And so we can talk about different things. So I think that's kind of interesting. And my opinion is that I think independent comics often need stronger editing. I'm not saying all the time, but I'm a big fan of indie comics, and I read a lot of them, and often they need stronger editing.
I have a theory about that.
Oh yeah, what's your theory?
The theory is that, and again, I'm casting a broad brush, so
absolutely, yeah.
It's that a number of people who are in independent comics are that way because they don't want the man to tell them what to do.
Yeah,
but a good editor isn't there to stomp on that like they think a Marvel editor or a DC editor might do. A good editor is there to sort of elevate the material and ask questions that help you figure things out. So it's really not editor as God. It's more like editor as buddy.
Yeah.
With an outside voice.
Yeah.
It's more like, are you sure you want to do that? Because I don't understand what that's about. And so that's how I see an editor for indie comics.
I did a little freelance job a few years ago, and I don't normally do it, but this was somebody I knew, somebody I liked, and read through it, and I'm like, this scene here, I think you need to cut this scene because it doesn't do anything for your story. It's a little confusing, and it seems like really the only thing. It looks like 3 pages long, right? So it seems like the only thing is just for this one line here, and this particular freelancer, creative person, artist, said, well, I like it, I'm keeping it in. And I'm like, it's your book, you do what you want, but so I'm getting ahead of myself, because then that sort of begs the question, do you, as editor, do you want your name on there as editor? Because it's like, I told you this scene sucked, and yet you left it in there, so people are going to look at me now and say, well, why didn't you edit that out?
No, I'd keep my name on it.
Yeah, well, I did. My name's on it.
So because I'll sidetrack for a second, but when I work in television and my script gets reworked or rewritten or whatever, I still want the credit, because having a produced credit is better than having no credit.
Yeah.
Right.
And nobody cares. Nobody really cares about your tantrum of, oh, they didn't change it the way I said, so I took my name off it. That's what they will care about down the road is, oh, Roland got his name in this book, or Tom got his name in this book, or Mike got his name in this book. And that's, to me, that's more important.
Yeah.
Well, what's I tend to agree. Maybe it worked out and it was good, and you were like, well, maybe I was the wrong one.
Because if the audience responds and says, hey,
I was the editor on that
one. Well, I can say the several installments that was done ended up being very popular and did well. So so it all worked out to the good. Phil Leon says, Happy New Year, Silverline peeps. What's up, Mr. Phil Leon? Happy New Year to you, sir. Thank you for swinging by and joining us. So Dave, any highlights of 2023? Any anticipated excitements of 24 you want to talk about?
Not really anything I can kind of point out. I am looking forward to getting some of the stuff done that I'm working on, as Roland is as well. But
I can say I think a highlight would be you joined the Tuesday team as a regular in 23.
That's been fun. I had some cases that came up that were interesting. Probably I have to say my highlight was San Diego Comic-Con, having to broadcast from my trailer because people weren't able to join as well. So
that's one of those drop-in comments, Dave, that people are like, what are you talking about? So take a moment to, if you will, tell people how you attend San Diego Comic-Con, because I didn't know until you talked about it.
Okay. Well, typically we live in Southern California, so it's about a 2-3 hour drive for us to go to San Diego to do the con. So what we've elected to do was we take our travel trailer, and we usually go down a day or so before, and then a day after, and we set up and we do a camping trip while we're there. And then we basically make a trip into the city every morning, drop off, take the tram in because traffic's crazy. But we typically do that. It's huge cost saver and everything. Plus we have
What's your campground?
Well, we used to camp through Thousand Trails, but the last time we went down there, we found a local campsite that was really nice, because typically Thousand Trails down in San Diego, about, I want to say maybe 10-15 minutes from there, all cell signal, everything cuts off. So it truly is a camping thing.
Right.
So this other campsite, we had a great view, we had full signal, and the cost was pretty good. And so we're gonna do that again this year if we can get a site. And it was lucky that we had that, because as I mentioned, we were doing the drive down there, and something came up. Jose couldn't join that day, and Cassisi hadn't joined the stream yet. So it was basically going to be Tim by himself for an hour. And I couldn't do that to him. So luckily, literally right before the stream, we pulled in, we set up, and I sat there and got my phone on cell service and tied my PC to it and did the stream from the trailer, just because I didn't want Tim to have to do it by himself.
Yeah.
So
There's
I got lucky.
There's a great place called Campland on the Bay, or Campland by the Bay, which is on. It's at Mission Bay. It has a beach, and it has a pool, and it has really good Wi-Fi.
Oh, nice.
I think Mike's got to jump. We'll get back to the camping.
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but I gotta go. There's a pizza calling my name, so I'm gonna go.
Can't ignore that.
Did you bring it up for everyone?
Let me get back with you.
Tell Kerry we said Happy New Year. Aiden there with you?
No, he's out with friends.
All right. Well, when he gets,
of course he is. He should be.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a happy New Year.
Definitely, everyone, Happy New Year. I wish the best for everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
See you
next year. Bye.
So Dave just turned San Diego into a big camping trip.
Pretty much.
and he this is.
I mean, have you been to the show? Sometimes to get into some of those panels is like camping out.
We can, I know. We can actually accuse Dave now of phoning in his stream. Dave, you just phoned that one in.
I did. I also had later on, I had dialed in from inside the con in the lines when Silverline had Kevin West on.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually in one of the lines waiting for a panel when that was happening.
Good news for you.
It's not really camping in the rustic sense until you take the landline and you put it in the little cradle.
So Kevin's going to be on Tuesday show here, Dave, in about 2 weeks. He's coming on January 9th.
Okay.
Oh, it's excellent.
I've seen for this week coming up, but I haven't seen for the following week. So
yeah, we have a calendar that we keep right for the shows, and of course we can only create the shows in StreamYard a week at a time, 7 days out. So we would go in and create them, further than that, but we can't. And so that's sometimes you got someone scheduled. Oh, hey, we'll schedule you in February. They're like, what's the link? I'm like, I won't have the link until the week before. I want to have it next week, but I'm not going to have it until the week before you get here. So, but yeah, Kevin will be on January 9th.
Nice.
So, yeah, and we're turning the Sunday show about every other week. We're going to have some Malibu folks. Matter of fact, next week, former Malibu color supervisor, and I don't remember his official title, Mike Giles. He's got a toy, and he'll be on with us next week. Tom, will you be back home? Me? Yeah.
No, I'm here for 2 weeks. So so the next week I'll be you'll still see the Wizard of Oz curtains behind me.
Okay, all right, good deal. So but you'll still be able to join us in.
Oh yeah. No, I wouldn't miss talking to Mike Giles for anything. I love that guy.
Very cool.
I'm glad he finally found a creative outlet for his imagination.
Yeah.
Because he's been working on this kind of thing for a while, and I'm glad he's pieced it together.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask you. We're gonna ask him all the inside scoop about the Malibu coloring department, of course, and his time there. But then he's gonna talk about his new toy that he's got. So
we all get a free toy, don't we? Is that part of the deal?
You know what? You ask him about that. All
right.
When he's on, yeah.
Right. He owes me a free toy.
2 weeks after that, we're going to get your old chum, Malibu editor-in-chief, Mr. Chris Alm.
Oh, cool.
I can't make it.
I'll be off that one.
Yeah, I'll be off that one. You better ask him. He probably won't want me on there because I know too much.
Wait. What's the date on that one?
That would be January 21st.
I'm having a colonoscopy that day.
A colonoscopy. It's on
I
Sunday.
might not be able to make it on that day.
What? Why? Is
Where are you
that's
gonna
not FensaCon, is it?
No. I'm going to be in Texas.
What's in Texas?
My dad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. My dad, you idiot.
Roland has his finger on the pulse of everybody.
That's the day we're coming back, and I don't remember what time I think our flight doesn't get back till 8.
Well, you can let.
Maybe you should take a page out of Dave Rios's book and do it from the airport.
I could do it on the plane.
There you go.
2 weeks after that, we're going to have a former Malibu accountant, Kirk Patterson.
also a darn good softball player.
Yes, he is. Yeah. So what I may try to do. That's just the first about the first month lined up there. So I may reach out to a whole bunch of other Silverline folks and see if I can get them to come on here and just talk about what they did at Silverline and what they're doing now. So,
well, this is the way Tom can get more information for his book.
Are you talking Silverline or are you talking about the artwork Malibu? Because you said Silverline.
I meant to say Malibu.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I meant to say Malibu.
Release party.
Yeah, we should do that February 14th, shouldn't we? What day is that on?
That's Valentine's Day.
That's on a Wednesday. Oh, we have to get the Wednesday Whammers to do that.
All right.
Yeah, I have to talk to them.
I'm looking forward to Mr. Giles because he did give me a job, so
yeah.
I do owe him that, and there's some pretty funny stories and stuff that happened. So
yeah.
Some good stuff, and I know that he is a huge, or at least used to be a huge fan of Hefeweizen.
Of what?
Hefeweizen beer.
Oh, okay.
Pyramid Hefeweizen.
I take your word for it.
How can you be in comics and not know this?
I'm in the South. Remember, it's Budweiser down here.
Dixie beer is what we drink. It was cheap.
Jack's. Tommy, you remember Jack's beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't drink that either.
that was a New Orleans beer.
Yeah.
Yep. Jack's Brewery right there on the waterfront. Not cheap far from it was cheap. Like Schlitz malt liquor. So either Tom's anything highlights of 23, what you looking for 24?
Yeah, so the highlights of 2023, I don't really have anything other than what I normally do, which is I developed a TV show that's not going to air, and I got another book accepted by Simon & Schuster. So those are two big things that happen sort of every year. So they don't really seem. And then in 2024, let's see if I can present this. Okay. Oh, I don't have it. It won't load. No, never mind. I got a project for Silverline coming up in 2024.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
That I'm very excited about. I've seen the preliminary drawings from artist Henry Martinez.
Yep.
My partner on the project, and they're fantastic. I don't tend to get excited about a thing this early in the process, but Henry's art has really gotten me excited about it. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, because my part's done. So
that's right.
All I can do now is sit back with arms folded and go, it's coming.
And that's the hard part sometimes, isn't it? It's like, okay, my part's done. I just have to sit and wait now.
Well, yeah, I have to wait, and then I have to be available for questions.
Yeah.
So when Henry emails me and says, I don't get this joke.
Tom's like, neither to Roland.
neither to Roland, but I'm going to keep it in anyway.
Right.
That's right. I know what I'm talking about.
Because I like it.
That's all that matters, right?
It's just making me laugh. That's all.
I would never pull the I know better. I'd always just say, well, it makes me laugh.
That's right. That's it.
I don't know if the joke is any good or not. I just like it.
Yeah, there's about 3,000 people just like me. They're going to buy the book. I'm good.
That's right. I only need 3,000 people to get it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I tell my kids all the time when I tell them a joke, they're like, that wasn't funny. I'm like, it only matters that I thought it was funny,
right?
Not whether you thought it was funny or not.
And it only matters when they run off and tell their friends, hey, you won't believe what my dad said last night.
Right. Here's this dumb joke my dad said.
If it's so dumb, why are you repeating it to all your friends?
That's right. That's
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And I got a good Christmas present.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got two. I'm going to show the one that I think Roland might enjoy.
Okay.
I have not read it yet, but it's called Country Dark by an author named Chris Offutt.
Okay.
And he is Andrew J. Offutt's son. Andrew J. Offutt.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's cool.
He wrote a biography of his father called My Father the Pornographer, which is great because apparently Andrew J. Offutt, in addition to writing science fiction and fantasy books, wrote like 1,000 adult novels.
No way.
Yeah. And
I didn't know that.
So was he a fantasy writer or was he a pornographer who wrote fantasy novels on the side?
So that's interesting that you say that. Because I remember. Go ahead.
Roland's got a few porn books.
No, I remember when we first started getting into comics, and Tommy probably remembers, we used to go down to the New Orleans shows, and that they were George Alec Effinger hung out there. George Martin used to go. This is way back before he became a household name, and he did wild cards.
Yes,
and a lot of the wild card writers used to hang out there. So you had.
What was that show called? The Sci-Fi City something?
No. It was New Orleans Nassif.
That's what it was. Yeah, you're right.
New Orleans Science Fiction Fantasy Convention or something like that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that's where we met Sid Williams, Robert Petty. The redheaded Nancy. She wrote Swamp Thing. Help me out here.
The horror writer.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, she was there. I met a whole bunch of them, and as you know, back then, Margaret Weiss. I got a buddy sending me messages on Discord. I don't know if he must not be able to figure out how to use the
Nancy Collins.
Nancy Collins. That's it. Yeah. And so at night. When the show was over, there was always the parties, the room parties. There were often parties that it was just for the guest. And back then, if you were a guest, it just didn't matter if you were the A-tier guest or the D-tiered guest. You all had access to a green room in which they served you snacks and things like that. And so we can get in there, and I used to hear them kind of whispering about, he writes, porn under a pen name, blah, 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 blah. And I never really caught anyone's name in specific, but you could hear them talk. Luke Shiner was one of them. He was one of the guys that hung out. You could hear them talking about these things, and you're like, what are they talking about? And I know that, man, I see their faces. There was a couple. She wrote horror, but she made a lot of money off of romance novels, and she used to talk about those. She goes, I can write one of these in a few weeks. She was pumping out those romance novels like crazy, and she said that was paying her bills.
Yeah, because it's factory writing, but it pays well.
Yeah,
it's steady. It doesn't pay exceptionally well. It's not like Stephen King well, but it's steady money, and it's so anyway.
Yeah,
Chris Offutt's book, Country Dark. They are crime novels set in the rural South. This one is set in modern Kentucky, and so they all have a Southern flavor. They all are, some are set in the backwoods, but they're all sort of. And if you know the, Appalachian traditions of basically family feuds from rural areas. Go back many generations.
Oh yeah.
And the grudges are held, and so a lot of that stuff comes out in Chris Offutt's work. And so if you like stuff like Daniel Woodrell's, crime novels. Chris Offutt is in that same category.
Cool. I love Southern fiction. I won't get too much off on that. Mike Belcher is from Pikeville, which is the home of the Hatfields and McCoys.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. So that's every time Tommy and I have gone up to the show there. I've talked before. I said, man, we need an extra day sometimes so that I can go see the Hatfields and McCoys stuff.
Right.
But yeah, we're apparently right there.
They're still fighting, I think.
Yeah, they're still fighting.
Well, here's the thing: pick a side, and the other side will show up.
Right.
So, if you want to meet anybody.
Infrafan says, Happy New Year's, fellas. Happy New Year, Infrafan. Thank you so much for swinging by and saying hello and Happy New Year and spending some of your New Year's Eve time with us. So yeah, one of the things I'm certainly looking forward to this year is what will 2024 be for us now that we're going to be in Diamond? How is that going to change what we're doing? I don't know the answer to that, but it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to the additional work that I'm going to have to do, but I am looking forward to see what that does with us. How does that change, if at all, what we're doing and how we do things? How are we going to balance? Tommy and I talked a little bit about this the other day. How we're going to balance kind of Kickstarters and Diamond and what. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know all the answers, but I'm looking forward to it.
I have a theory.
Okay.
I bet that some opportunities that you can't predict are going to show up. And it's going to be up to you and your team to sort of figure out if this is a real legitimate opportunity that benefits you or if this is a mistake.
Yeah.
And that's the hard call to make because it sounds great. And then you really have to think it through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that'll be the hard part.
Well, fortunately, I mean, I tend to come to folks like you, Tom, and say, hey, Tom, what do you think?
What did you do when you guys were doing this?
Well, yeah. And then here's the deal. And I always say, look, I'm not holding you to anything. Give me some feedback. Here's what I got. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me, what your initial reaction is. And I will try to do that, with a small handful of people and then take that and kind of.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I don't think anybody has the real answer. I think all you can do is collect. There's a saying that Sherlock Holmes always had that they use in the Robert Downey Jr. movies, which is data, data, data. I cannot make bricks without clay.
All right.
And that's you really have to, you need a lot of different voices to throw it in because it can be confusing when there's so much going on. What's the right step or what's the good step?
Yeah. So and I will never, claim to have all the answers. I will never claim that I, make all the right calls, all the right decisions. But
one of the things we used to do at Malibu was let's make this decision. But if it turns out to be the bad decision, how quickly can we correct it?
Yeah.
And so we always had the plan B to sort of escape and recover if it turns out that the idea we thought was fantastic actually turned around and bit us.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a good thing that about being a small outfit, right? Is we can make changes on a dime, you know,
because it's you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, at this point in time, we've solicited February, March, and April. And that's it. April, May. May is coming up. May is going to be due here in about a week and a half. But
which one is it? Can you say?
Sure. Yeah. So for February, it was Trump's #1.
Right.
March was Kayla's #1.
Right.
April is Trump's #2.
Okay.
And May is Kayla's #2.
There you go.
So we're going to do them bi-monthly until they're complete. One of the reasons that we decided to do this is talking to Steve, our Diamond rep. He agreed that it might be a good idea for us to, as if you do an issue number 1, the next issues number 2's issue numbers are going to fall, right?
Yes.
And part of the problem is retailers haven't seen the product. Retailers don't know how it's going to sell. And so they just automatically cut the numbers. If we can skip a month between, they will have had the opportunity to at least seen the issue before having to make the orders for the next issue.
Right. So here's an idea.
And we didn't want to have a skip month because they'll forget about us. And our Diamond guy even told us that. He goes, you don't want to be absent for a month because they'll think you're done.
Right. Yeah, especially now.
Yes.
So can you? So when Trump's number 2 is solicited, can you do a relist of Trump's number 1?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because every time when I was doing my Zomboid books, I was
you.
able to, so when Zomboid 2 came out, I was able to put Zomboid 1 back out there again. And
right.
Then I get another couple of 100 copies of it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking it won't be necessarily big money, but it might move another couple.
Yeah, just something. Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
If you got a bunch, if you're sitting on a bunch of them,
and it also might put one, because everybody only orders to sell now. It might be a chance to put 1 and 2 out at the same time.
Yeah. And if a shop did sell through, they go, "Oh, I should have ordered 10 more or something."
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, Diamond has their FOCs. So the FOCs they allow them to adjust orders. So if, say, for example, they don't know what they were thinking and they ordered, 100,000 and they really only need 50,000, they could potentially go down. But it also gives them the ability to bump orders. So yeah, if you can hit that FOC, then that's good. And they usually can time those with the release of the current book that's coming out, so issue number 2. So yeah, that's definitely should be doable with no problem.
And thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been a deep dive into comic book distribution. For all the guys at Silverline.
I wonder if he'd come on the show sometime. I'd have to ask him. I don't know what their policy is. Everfan says having all the answers means not knowing all the questions.
Yeah, well, I think if I ever met somebody who said they knew everything and knew all the answers, I would immediately distrust them.
Yeah.
Because it's always a quest. It's like
crap.
We're always trying to take the ring back to Mordor. We're not.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. And now that you say it that way too, whenever you meet someone who says they know it all, that's kind of what they are.
Yeah.
I smell something.
Right.
I would meet people who have the same questions that I do, or new questions, or different questions, and you sort of talk it through, because that's what makes lunch interesting. That's what makes conventions interesting.
It is. I agree. And that's why I told someone once before, because they were like, "Well, I didn't make any money going to this convention," and I said, "Well, okay, so what you have to, and from my perspective, what you have to consider, I think, is." What other values did that convention bring you? Did you meet new people? Did you meet a new artist? Did you make contacts? Did you meet some new shops who said, "Hey, I love your work and I want to get you in my shop."
Yeah. What did you do wrong? Fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it for next time.
I always think of it as conventions are not home run ball. Conventions are small ball.
Yeah.
And so it's basically get a single, move the runner to second. And have him get over to third, and then have him run home. Don't rely on that. A convention isn't for the home run. A convention is a part of the larger game.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm excited about for 24. And as far as and looking back at 23, I'm excited about. Obviously, we did 10 books. For our Kickstarters in 23, and got them all out except for the 2 of them that are going to go out next week, and which should be no problem. They're still going out. Oh, look at this! She's able to join us, Miss Roberta Conroy.
Well, I'm popping in only because I'm cooking. I'm cooking.
Okay.
I got stuff on the stove. I got to go back. But
what you cooking? What
you got? What's happening?
We got a roast. We got Brussels sprouts. We got green beans.
Black-eyed peas? Black-eyed peas?
No.
It's New Year's.
We got scalloped potatoes.
I like that.
Yeah.
That all sounds very. We'll be right over.
Happy New Year to everybody, everyone at Silverline and beyond.
I've got to say this, and I don't know how many people can catch this reference. Salut!
Oh, that's Grandpa Jones from Hee Haw.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Sorry. I wish I could give a little.
Why is that it too?
Roberta, it's good to see you. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Hope
Look forward to
everyone's
see-
doing great.
Yes.
You will see much more of me later. 24.
Yay! Excellent. Glad to hear that.
Okay.
I don't know
Have
what
a
you meant
good
by
night,
that,
guys.
but oh.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You too.
right?
Happy New Year.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
Now we got to get
Roberta.
Haley back on.
I know. Did you bring it up to share, Roberta? I'm sorry, Amber. I knew she was popping on and off real fast, so I didn't see your question before she left. But
We got to get Pete to start jumping back on.
yeah, I sent Pete a message and said, "Look, dude, it's New Year's Eve. I know you're going to be up, so you should join us." He didn't respond. He hadn't even seen it.
It's already 2020. What is it? 4?
It's 2024 over there. Yeah.
He can tell us what next year looks like already.
That's right. So he can predict our future.
Oh.
He's in London. He can say soupy.
With high taxes.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a good thing. We should have had him on. He could have told us what next year was going to be about.
Yeah. So so anything else, guys? Any other thoughts? 23 or 24?
Just keep on working.
First Kickstarter is slated for February. Where's my calendar? Hold on. February the 6th, and that will be for Beyond the Stars #3, which looks gorgeous. I've seen the unlettered art. That was the project Mike was talking about having to letter.
Nice.
I've seen it's just fantastic. It's beautiful. And also then Bear #2. So it is finished, and Haley has done a sweet job on that. It is also yet incomplete in its lettering, but we've still got a month to go. So
that's why you were telling me I need to do my cover.
Yeah, that is why I said, "Hey, man, you still up for this cover? I need it."
I'll work on it.
So we're looking forward to it in 2024.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Infrafan says 2024 is the year we finally get a terrible Silverline movie from Disney. I can feel it.
Hey, there's the money from that would be great. So there is no terrible movie.
That's right. A terrible movie is better than no movie, right?
That's right. Exactly. Because a terrible movie eventually leads to another movie.
That's right. And a terrible movie brings attention to you to a multitude of people who had no clue who you were.
And then you can re-release the book with the photo cover from the movie.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yep.
So plenty of good things can happen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. I'm looking forward to the bad Silverline movie.
Infrafan, I hope you're correct. Oh no, I need to see those underground chase scenes in Cat and Mouse. Yeah, in those New Orleans tunnels.
In the tunnels, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
and Tom will appreciate this. Just to prove it to people, I always say, that's the one thing I held on to for a long time is the Hollywood versions of the scripts for Cat and Mouse.
Oh yes, never let anything go.
Oh, I think that's even a note from you, Tom.
This sucks. Rewrite.
No, it's not. It's not you.
Said.
No, it's not you. No. Yeah. When I tell people
take out that
about,
scene, I don't
about
like
the underground caves and they basically made Cat into Batman. Right here. Here's your proof.
Nah.
I'm not letting this go. This is my inspiration.
Take that to the grave.
That's right. So, all right, well, guys, it's 1:14. No, not 1:14. We've been on an hour and 14 minutes. It is where'd my clock go? 9:16. I guess if you guys have nothing else, I'm good to go, and we can all go out about our collective New Year's Eves.
Excellent.
Yep. All right. So
everybody how many fireworks we hear all night long. See if drive my dog crazy. We'll see what happens.
So
they've already started it about 4 hours ago.
Yeah, you probably can't. I don't know if my mic has been picking up the popping. This is really loud. Yeah,
my neighbors, I think of it, are exploding bombs out in the driveway.
Those are legal now in Florida.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
the Santas is handing them out apparently. Blow these things up.
I don't know what's on the schedule for Wednesday. They don't have anything. There's nothing on the schedule here. So for on Tuesday, the crew from that Silverline show on Tuesday, including this fella right here, are going to talk about, do comic creators collect books? And I'm going to, let's see, the crew takes a moment to share our collections of comics, collectibles, toys, and more. Does collecting comics help you create comics? Why should you collect comics? What are collectibles? All this and more.
That's a pretty good one.
That is
a good one.
That's a mouthful.
That's the subtitle.
That's a mouthful, yeah. Wednesday Wham will be on, but I have no idea what they're going to be talking about. To a prosperous new year, gentlemen. Infrafan says, make mine Silverline. Thank you,
Everything is legal in Florida.
Everything's legal in Florida. So Wednesday will be on, but I don't know what they're going to be talking about. And we will be back next week, same Silverline time, same Silverline channel, with special guest Mike Giles, who's a former color supervisor. He's going to give us a juicy scoop on the coloring department. Plus, he'll tell us about his new toy. So
and free toys for everyone.
Yep. Right, yeah. So let me find my. It's been a while since. Thanks again to Mr. Mason for filling in while I was out.
I'm not burning the thing to the ground.
For getting some interesting people in who I would like to have some of them back.
Just some of them.
Just some of them. Yeah. Just one or two of them. That's what I'm yeah. So where's my end? So
we'll talk off the air.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so until next time, remember to make mine Silverline.
I don't have my cup.
My name is Ross Ritchie from Boom Studios, and make mine Silverline.